problem thinking Christmas at all. Are any of you like that? I don't tend to do my shopping until the middle of December because I feel like it's not Christmas unless you're rushing around in a horrible parking lot at a horrible mall with slush. I mean, that's when the Christmas spirit hits. But for me, 2 weeks ago, I was walking around my grocery store and I heard something over the loudspeaker and I could not figure out what it was. It was just awful. It was atrocious. It was high-pitched. And then I realized it was Alvin and the Chipmunks singing "Oh Holy Night." Yes, that's just not a combination that most of us want to experience, trust me. And, I thought, it's only like November 5th. And then it reminded me of this time a couple of years ago when I was walking around Canadian Tire. It was November 1st, so it was even earlier. I don't know what I was shopping for, but what do you think I saw? Christmas trees. I know, which is strange because the day before had been Halloween. So it meant that someone had to stay up all night putting away the Halloween stuff and getting out the Christmas stuff. Glad that wasn't me. But as I'm walking towards these Christmas trees, I am blown away by one. Because I'm a purple person, and it was a purple tree. It was so lovely, it was glittering, and it had the silver bows, and I thought to myself, I have to have that tree. And so I bought two boxes of these decorations, and I have to show you them, because they were just lovely. Isn't that glittery? Isn't that lovely? I think it was beautiful. And 6 weeks later, when I did finally get around to getting my tree up, I made an important discovery. This looks terrible on my tree, and I will tell you why. When I was married, my mother gave me a box, and inside that box was every Christmas decoration I had ever made as a child. And so, I don't know what this is, but I have 20 of them, and I don't think you in the back can truly appreciate how horrendous these are, but they're all over my tree. And then interestingly, my mother-in-law gave me a box the next Christmas of all the Christmas decorations that my husband had ever made as a child. And so I have a whole bunch of things like this. This is one of the better ones. It's a plastic canvas cake. His name is Keith, and he made this when he was 8. Isn't that lovely? And over the years, as my children have been in Sunday school, we have added the paper doily angels and the little tin foil things that come home. And one year, I was feeling especially ambitious, and we made these dough figurines with flour and salt. And you mix them together and you bake them in the oven. Katie was 2 that year. She didn't eat anything when she was 2, but I would come downstairs and I would find her nibbling on the legs of these little dough figurines. So I don't actually have a complete one to show you because they were not eaten. But here's a little gingerbread man missing a head. And so if you can just imagine what my tree looks like, it's extremely eclectic. And it's really rather awful. I think if I were to try to sell everything I have on eBay, I don't even know if I'd get a quarter. But, the more I think about it, the more I think my tree is far more beautiful than that purple tree. Because when I look at my tree, I see my whole history there. That's what I did as a child. It's got all my memories, it's got my husband's memories, and as the kids have grown, it's got all the things that they've brought into our family. And while every single one of us could have an identical purple tree, and it could look just lovely, and we could all be so proud, not one of you can have my paper doily angels, because they're just mine, and that's individual. And when I think of Christmas, I think that's a message that God wants us to hear. Because so often we go after those purple trees in our lives, don't we? We as women try to look like we have it all together. We want to be shiny. We want everybody to admire us, and we want people to look at us and say, oh, you've got it all together. When really God might be calling you to something very different. He might be thinking you should be the gingerbread with no head, because that's who you